Dear students, good morning dear students. Today we are going to do an experiment about the monocot family Liliaceae. So for that I was unable to find out any flower of family Liliaceae. So I am taking the flower that is Polyanthes tuberosa or Rajnigandha in Odia and in Hindi, which is belonging to the family Amaryllidaceae, but somehow the floral characters are similar to that of Liliaceae. So I am doing the experiment with this flower. Okay, so what we are going to do about the vegetative characters. So I am not going to the vegetative characters much because you all know that monocot family, what are the vegetative characters. We'll start it with the root. The roots of the plant are fibrous root system, and then stem is generally modified into the tubers. Okay, and we'll come to the leaf part, leaf which are having the leaf base which are sheathed. You are not able to see here. Leaf base are sheathed and they are having parallel venation alternately present. You can see this plant and observe its characteristic features, vegetative characters, or else you can also see the onion plant. If you have, you can observe there. Okay, then next we will see about, we'll come to the floral characters. Prior to that, let us see about the inflorescence, and it is having racemose inflorescence. And let us see about the flower character. So I am going to write one by one flower character. The flower is said to be bisexual. Both the sex organs are present, a complete flower, and it is actinomorphic. Why actinomorphic? Because you can divide the flower into two equal halves in the vertical plane. In any plane you can divide it into two equal halves. Okay, so let me write some of the characteristic features. Flower is having a bract. You can see leafy bract is present over here. Okay, so for floral formula, okay, first of all I am writing presence of the bract. It is bracteate. It is bisexual. Okay, let us see the other characteristic features. I am removing the bract here. Now you can't see the floral holes, calyx and corolla. So instead of calyx and corolla, it is both of them are fused, and such a hole is known as your perianth, and the individuals are known as the tepals. Okay, so how many tepals we are having? 6 number. You can see 1, 2, 3 and 3 that remains inside. Okay, so 6 number of tepals are present. So 6 tepals. Okay, so this is the perianth, which is having the individuals as the tepals. Okay, now let us see. White in color, good fragrance is there. Okay, now I am going to remove the estivation of the tepals. Let us see. The estivation is valvate estivation, because these three, they all are being forming a tube, and they all are not overlapping to each other. None of them are overlapping. It forms 2 holes. The tepals are present in 2 holes. 3 that remains towards the outer side, and these 3 remains towards the inner side. Okay, so this is 3 plus 3. Okay, now perianth is having the tepals 3 outside, 3 inside, and forming a tube. Okay, then we will make an incision here, and let us open the flower. With the needle you can open, just see. Okay, The inner hole, inner to the tepals, it is the androecium, which consists of the stamens. 6 number of stamens are being present. One that fell down here, you can see. So 6 number are there. Okay, 6 number of stamens, and these stamens are attached. Stamens are attached with the perianth. Such a condition is known as epiphyllous condition. Such a condition is called epiphyllous condition. Okay, just take it out. You can see here. Okay, so this is the anther lobe and this is the filament. Okay, so I am writing stamens 6. Okay, and it is the epiphyllous condition. Androecium, which includes 6 number of stamens. This is epiphyllous condition. Okay, now one by one all the stamens you will remove, as it is old flower plucked very early, so they are being just dehiscence. Like this you will remove all the 6 number of stamens in the examination. Okay, then now you see this is the female sex organ or the gynoecium. So let me write down here about the gynoecium. It is tricarpellary, right, and syncarpous. 3 number of carpels which are fused to form a single structure. You can see trifid stigma. Stigma is trifid, and long style is present, and here is the bulbous ovary part. As you can see, all the other hole that remains below the level of the ovary, right, that have arisen from here, that is why ovary is said to be superior. Okay, so gynoecium. And if we take the transverse section of the ovary, let us see the transverse section of the ovary, how we are going to do. This is syncarpous. Okay, now take sharp blade and take the transverse section of the ovary. Make the thinnest possible section you can take to find out that the ovary is trilocular. We will place it on a slide. Let us keep it on a slide. Okay, somehow it is being destroyed. Let me take another one. Okay, you have to take a perfect section, the thinnest possible section, and you will observe carefully under the microscope. You will find the transverse section of the ovary. The ovary is having 3 number of chambers or locules, and inside each locule 2 ovules are present, and it is axile placentation. And as you can see, trilocular syncarpous condition here in this section under the microscope, dissecting microscope. You can observe it carefully. As it is the superior ovary, you can put an underline. Okay, now with this data we can prepare we can have the floral diagram. First mother axis, then as we have the bract always come from the outside to inside. Okay, so these are the 3 number of outer tepals. Okay, and we have 3 inner tepals. And they all are joined to form the tube, perianth tube. Okay, and the stamens. Center, we will draw the section of the ovary, trilocular chamber, and each is having 2 number of ovules, and it is axile placentation.